professional association and affiliations. The nominee is professionally affiliated with the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, that is ISPAC, which is a professional body for certified public accountants in Kenya. He is a life member. He is also a life member of Red Cross, Nyandarua branch. Honorable Speaker, pertaining oral submission, it is evident that Mr. Irungu, and it was evident during vetting that Mr. Irungu appeared before the committee and was positively identified as the individual scheduled for the session. His original documents were reviewed, and he was asked to provide all the necessary documents, and he addressed the issues accordingly. Honorable Speaker, during the submission, Mr. Irungu summarized his qualification and experience as outlined in the questionnaire he had filled. And honorable members, we have that attachment in our report. You can go through it. He acknowledged that he had been interviewed by the County Public Service Board at Orkarau for the position, that is Orkarau at the CPSB offices, for the said position, and expressed confidence in his ability to perform the duties for which he had been nominated. Despite holding a bachelor's degree in agribusiness, which extensively covers finance, according to his transcript, he emphasized his extensive experience in the finance department since the year 2015. Furthermore, being a CPA added to his qualifications for the position. When questioned about dealing with office politics, particularly the challenge of supervising individuals who he had previously been his seniors, Mr. Irungu shared that he had been acting in the position and he was nominated for over the past month and has received significant support from the staff in the department. He expressed confidence in his ability to manage such dynamics in the future. Honorable Speaker, without going to each and every detail, these are the committee findings and observations. Honorable Speaker, the committee made the following observations on the suitability, capacity, and integrity of the nominee. One, that in accordance with the law, the nominee is eligible for appointment to a public office since he is a Kenyan citizen born in 1987 in Nyandarua County. Number two, that the nominee has been working in the County Department of Finance since the year 2015 and has raised through the ranks to the position of a senior accountant. Previously, he served Equity Bank Limited first as a relationship officer and was then promoted to a senior relationship officer. These have granted him a decade of experience in public finance management. Three, that the nominee holds a master's degree in business administration and a bachelor's degree in science and agribusiness management. Additionally, he is a certified public accountant and has undertaken certification courses to enhance his knowledge in leadership and management. And that the nominee meets the requirement of Chapter 6 of the Constitution on leadership and integrity, having obtained clearance from the following statutory bodies. That is the Ethics and Corruption Commission, EACC, the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, the Director of Criminal Investigation, that is from the DCI, and from the Higher Education Loans Board, that is the HELP, and that the nominee has never been charged in any court of law, and the nominee does not have conflict of interest, outside commitment, and political affiliations, and has never been dismissed from public office due to gross violation of the Constitution. And lastly, that the nominee has requisite abilities, qualification, and experience to serve as the County Chief Officer in the Department of Finance, as demonstrated during the approval hearing, where he expressed in-depth knowledge and experience in operations of the Nyandarua County Department of Finance. Mr. Speaker, having considered the suitability, capacity, and integrity of the nominee, In accordance to the provision of the Constitution 2010, the County Government Act 2012, the Nyandarua County Public Appointments Approval Act, that is 2016, and the Nyandarua County Standing Orders, the committee recommends that the House does approve the nomination and subsequent appointment by His Excellency the Governor of Mr. Frederick Irogo Gishuhe to the position of the County Chief Officer for Finance. Honorable Speaker, I don't intend to have any other addition because we are having a number of annexures and the members have been supplied with the said document for verification, more information and more insight. And with that, I wish to call Honorable Catherine Nyawera to second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Carol Nyawera, proceed.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini jina yangu ni Catherine ama ukitaka Kate.
Beg your pardon, Honorable Catherine Nyawera Dirango, member from Kirita. Proceed.
Nashukuru Spika, lakini majina yangu kamili ni Catherine Nyawera Mathenge, sio Dirango. Sijui haya majina yanatoka wapi.
Again, I apologize, Honorable Member, for identifying you wrongly. I now identify you correctly, Honorable Catherine Nyawera Mathenge. Proceed.
Asante sana Spika. Nasimama kuunga huu mjadala mkono na ningetaka kuongeza tu mambo mawili. Nimshukuru mwenyekiti wa kamati hii kwa sababu ameendeleza huu mswada vizuri na ameweza kueleza kwa nini Frederick Irogo Gishuhe ndiye aliyeibuka mshindi na kwa nini kama kamati tuliona tumlete hapa na tuwaambie vile tuliona. Wakati Frederick Irogo Gishuhe alipowasilishwa katika jumba hili, mahojiano ambayo tulikuwa nayo yalikuwa mahojiano ambayo yalionyesha yeye ni mtu ambaye amehitimu kimasomo, amehitimu katika kazi anayofanya, na mambo ambayo alikuwa anasema yalikuwa anaonekana ni mtu anajua vile anafanya na ni mtu ataweza kusaidia hii gatuzi yetu. Pili, Mheshimiwa Spika, Frederick aliweza kuonesha kwamba ametumika kwa hiyo ofisi kwa muda wa karibu miaka 7. Kwa hivyo ni mtu anaelewa mifumo ya teknolojia ambayo yanatumika katika kaunti ya Nyandarua. Sio mtu anakuja kujifunza kazi. Ukiangalia kwamba ofisi anayotaka kuongoza kama chief officer, kama katibu, ni ofisi ambayo inahusu pesa, inahusu sheria nyingi ambazo zinataka mtu ambaye anaelewa. Hiyo ni ya pili. Katika mahojiano yetu na maswali tuliyomuuliza, tuliona ni mtu ana kumbukumbu ya taasisi, anaelewa ametoka wapi, gatuzi imetoka wapi, inaenda wapi. Anaelewa mfumo tunaotumia, anaweza kujibu maswali ya hapo awali na ya sasa hivi, na naamini pia ataweza kujibu maswali ya mambo yatakayotokea hapo mbele. Kwa hivyo, Mheshimiwa Spika, ningetaka kuuliza wajumbe wenzangu waweze kumpitisha, na mimi naunga hii mjadala 100%. Shukran.
Thank you, Honorable Catherine. The motion is duly moved and seconded. I now propose the question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Finance, Economic Planning and ICT on the approval of Mr. Frederick Irogo Gishuhe as Chief Officer for Finance as a report of the House and the recommendations therein as the resolutions of the House, and that pursuant to the provisions of Section 45 of the County Government Act, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Frederick Irogo Wishohe as Chief Officer for Finance. Honorable Bogomboro, member for Wero, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And from the onset, I'm supporting the report of the Finance Committee on the approval of one, Mr. Frederick Irongo. He's a person I know. In the last regime, Mr. Speaker, I happened to be the chairman of transport, like I'm doing today. And one Frederick Irogo used to be the chief accountant in the said committee. He's a young man who knows his work, and I'll be echoing the sentiments of the committee in where they are approving, Mr. Speaker. So I'm in the support of the said debate, and I would wish or beseech the House to approve the said person. And even today, he happens to be acting on the same position, Mr. Speaker. If credentials were to take part, then Frederick or his credentials qualifies him to take the position. So I'm in the support of the motion and beseech the whole House to approve. Because what happens, Mr. Speaker, a House, or rather the approval hearing, people fail to understand. Ours is not to appoint. Ours is to ascertain whether the due process was followed during his appointment. And all the way from credentials that are required to be the chief officer of finance, he has a degree, he has performed well, he goes to have masters, then he has the requisite requirement of qualification of experience. So I would beseech the House to approve the said report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support his approval.
Honorable Paul Gechewabaire, member for Kipipiri, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support. Mr. Speaker, you see, when you look at Nyandarua County Government, and the reports that come from Auditor General, it tells you that there is a problem. It is problematic somewhere. That there is a missing link. And you see, as I support the name of Frederick Irungu, I also have mercy with the administration of one, Dr. Kelly Moses Badilisha. You see, we have only 2.5 years left, and to navigate the murky water of that department, Mr. Speaker, we need somebody who is experienced. I have heard about his credentials. He is a master holder. He is a CPA holder, computing info matrix. And it can tell you the person you are dealing with. When you look at Frederick Irogo, he is a genius in making. And he knows which button to press when. And I can tell this House, he has been used there before by the department to help the department where they could not be able to work it out, especially even in the IFMIS. He knows and understands the language of finance. And His Excellency the Governor is lucky to have gotten this gentleman who will not only bring honor to the county, but also will undertake his duty diligently. Mr. Speaker, you see, in this house, and I have respect, a lot of respect in the house. I've seen some names being passed here. Because of numbers, they are just passed. But this is a technocrat, Mr. Speaker. He is a son of the soil, and he also needs to have this job. I have one request because I can see maybe he is following from somewhere, that he need now to bring dignity in that office. We have seen sometimes back program and projects that do not exist. They could have been paid. And Mr. Speaker, this is the first task in terms of payment. We don't want to see people who have not worked, who have not shown results being paid, Mr. Speaker, because it beats logic when you find the person who is supposed to undertake a particular task earns without working. What am I saying? Let me cite this example. In Gibibiri Ward, we may have projects and programs. Yes, they could be contracted, they could have been procured, but it is worth noting even the time of paying this contractor. For the purpose of oversight, we need to know, because sometimes if you find a project has been duly paid without the work being done, it will be a laughing stock. So he should man that office and tighten any loophole that they are there. So I wish him well as he now moves to the next level once the House approves his name. And he should remain to be a gentleman. For it will not be good when we support him only to turn out not to be genius, as I had indicated, but to become a leatherhead. He should remain to be a genius. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I support.
Honorable Jeffrey Kamwana, member for Adara. Proceed.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. This afternoon, I like to support the report of the Committee of Finance and ICT. Honorable Speaker, I'm not a member of this committee, and I've only seen the work that they have been doing. But Honorable Speaker, let me tell this House that the Department of Finance and ICT in this county is of much importance. It is the pedestal that can be able to move this county to greater heights. We very well know that the issue of finance for any organization is a critical factor, that without the much needed finance, if I may use this word because it's a very broad word, things cannot be able to move forward. Honorable Speaker, that though I don't know in person very much about the candidate, but from the look of things, and more particularly from his qualification, and also how he was able to answer his questions, leaves a lot to be admired. Honorable Speaker, the qualification that has been attained by these gentlemen, because I'm also in this area, it's not easy to have all these certifications, and especially from the field of finance. The gentleman has a good mixed grill of the profession or the qualification, because he cuts across several important areas. One is finance, where he was able to do some finance in his master's, and also the gentleman has a good background of information, or what we call the ICT. We can be able to see that earlier on, when he was a young boy, he was able to have what we call ICDL, or International Computer Driving License, and later on in 2012, he was able to acquire even a more certification when he was able to go through what we call CICT, and from a very reputable organization, that is the CASNEP. Although, Honorable Speaker, these days we have other certifications that are very crucial or that are very important, and especially from the Google. Like now we have the certification for what we call the artificial intelligence and machining. Of course, I know the gentleman could be going there, but we can see that he has a vast knowledge in ICT that he has acquired for the last 13 years. Honorable Speaker, as I finish, we are also able to see that in the field of finance, when you have background of accounts, at least you can be able to account or to advise in the what we call the managerial accounting, which is very important for such a department. That's why I'm saying it's a good mixed grill. And as I finish, Honorable Speaker, I want to echo the assessments that have been done by one Honorable Geshe, that there has been a gap. We are able to see a gap when the predecessor of these chief officer office, because I only had a gentleman known as Juvenaris, who was also a very competent person, and who could call us all the time as the oversight agent and ask us whether those projects had been implemented. We hope that we are going to awaken that call by appointing these gentlemen, whereby we as the oversight agents will be able to ask whether such projects have been implemented in our areas of jurisdiction. So I wish him well, as I maybe concur with other honorable members that will be able to pass these gentlemen to be given this position. I support Honorable Speaker, and thank you so much.
Honorable Steve Matimo, proceed. Member from Karau.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want from the onset to really thank the Committee on Finance for having undertaken the vetting and approval hearing of a friend that I've known for quite some time, Mr. Frederick, and I start to really support. I think from his CV, there's a place that he has mentioned that he was working with Equity Bank. And Mr. Speaker, during that tenure, we were working together, and it's someone whom I can really say that I really know. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the chair that today he has approved that they've not done 21 reports, but 19 as they had reported earlier, and at least he has set the record straight. From
point of information, Honorable Speaker.
What is it, Honorable Zachary?
I want to inform my good friend, Honorable Matimo, that a report entails a number of a statement can be a report, a response, a statement response. There is no committee, and this can be consulted. Our Hansard can be consulted. There is no committee that has done more reports, inclusive of a statement.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Order, order. What is it, Honorable Geche?
Is it in order now to change this debate to committees, how many reports they have done, and yet we have been doing these reports all through?
Zachary.
Honorable Speaker.
Order, order, order. Honorable Zachary, you're also on a point of information, and first information is on okay, but you are out of order since you don't provide parameters to measure which committee has done better than the other. Proceed, Honorable Zachary. Honorable Zachary, proceed with the information.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was not insinuating to give parameters, But I was indicating and informing the said member and the House that the Hansard is there. We can consult the Hansard and confirm which committee in totality, be it the report or statement response, which committee has more of them. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Proceed, Honorable Matimo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will not continue on that line. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Irongo, as per what or how I know him, I believe that he's coming to bring in the change that as a county we've been earning to have. Mr. Speaker, a few days ago, we were in this honorable house, and we were up on feast, in quotes, Mr. Speaker, because of something that the CCM, in the same department, had forwarded to this assembly. I believe once we approve Mr. Irongo, we shall not be seeing such papers in this assembly, whereby Mr. Irongo will be advising the CCM on the process, on the way to go, and the rightful avenue to use when bringing up such papers into this assembly. Mr. Speaker, there's one thing that honorable members, especially the democratically elected, have been yearning for. And I believe once we approve Mr. Frederick, is that before a payment is made of a project that has been undertaken in any ward that has a representative in this house, something that was happening before, a honorable member would, he will be calling the honorable members, and just for confirmation that they are satisfied with the oversight role that they undertake in this assembly and in this county. I don't think we are asking for too much, and I believe just a phone call away, the honorable members will be available. Mr. Speaker, sir, the other one is on issues that pertains to our county. We've had contractors crying day and night that, Mr. Speaker, a file, when a contractor goes to bed, he knows that the file will be paid the following day. But something happens the last minute. Instead of paying contractor X, whose money was requested from the treasury, you find that, those monies have been shifted to contractor Z. I would humbly request that the new chief officer, he will be ensuring that if contractor X money was requested from treasury, he will be or she will be paid, and nothing else will be stopping these people from receiving their payments. The other one, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I know that the experience that Frederick has, and especially in Matters County government, he is going to use that experience, he's going to use the knowledge that he has, as it has been tabled today, to ensure that he will take this county to another level. And I believe the few days that he has been in that office, Mr. Speaker, on acting capacity, at least we've seen what he can do while acting. So I believe that he will be able to do more when it's confirmed, and I wish him well. And one thing that I would wish to assure him is that where he will be working in that particular department, he should know that he has our full support as an assembly, and that, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are going to work hand in hand to ensure that our county moves forward. With that, I support the approval hearing of one Frederick, my very able brother. Thank you.
Honorable Isaac Bai, member for Githioro, proceed.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to support the approval of one Mr. is going to serve is a very crucial position. It is my prayer that we'll give him the full support so that he can be able to give this county the best. I have interacted with him, and I have asked him some few questions about his desire to become a chief officer, and I have no doubt that as a very well educated person in that field, I believe that he'll give the best. It is my wish that he'll offer the best leadership with a great responsibility, transparency, accountability, and also with efficiency, where people will feel now comfortable working in this county government of Nyandarua. You realize that not many people who wishes to invest in the counties, and especially when you realize that where you place your money, you might end up going round and loud for so many years before you get paid. Well, yes, I wish that he'll also address what we call the historical financial injustice, where there are people still looking to be paid, and they worked since the devolution took place. You'll find that there are still people who are working in these offices trying to at least to get their justice, because maybe they worked for the county government and they are yet to be paid. It's my plea that he'll be able now to solve those problems and at least allow this county now to get back to its rightful way of ensuring that we do the right thing and at the right time. You realize that there have been a lot of outcry there, especially when money are paid to some few people, especially who maybe can be able to get an access, but with the capacity that Ilogo have, or Mr. Frederick, I believe that we will have the best solution of this county, and I wish I support his appointment as the next Chief Officer of Finance. Thank you.
Honorable Gitau Karanja, member for Shamata.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to support this report by the Committee of Finance, led by my good friend Honorable Zachary. And Honorable Speaker, I would wish to start by commending the good work that have been done by the committee, and also the governor, who has accepted to work with the staff or the members of the staff. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the quality of staff that we have as a county and also as an assembly, you realize that the recruiting agents, that is the County Public Service Board, have been doing a very good job, Honorable Speaker. If you look at the quality of staff that we have as a county, last year I had an advantage of interacting with some of the staff in the Department of Finance and also Department of Economic Planning, Honorable Speaker. And when you reason at the issues they were raising concerning the issues of policy and how to handle that is the financial systems and all that, you realize that the Public Service Board have been giving us the best, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, if I was to narrow down to my good friend Honorable Irongo, when this county was given a qualified report, that is in 2021 and also 2020, I remember very well he was working very closely with the team in finance and also with the team in economic planning, and that is when the county was given or awarded almost 521 billion, Honorable Speaker. And this is the money that we used to purchase the machinery, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, with the support of this young man at the helm of a chief officer, Honorable Speaker, I am very sure that the department will be able to move. We shall be able to have the best. And one thing I like about Honorable Idongo is that he is very flexible and he believes in fairness. When he was in Department of Roads, and Honorable Bogo have mentioned it, he used to make sure that he is very fair to the contractors, for example. If a contractor was to finish his work, maybe today, there is no way Irongo would have paid a contractor who has paid later than the one who had done the works in time, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, like it has been mentioned by one of us, Honorable from Kipipiri, one of the roles of an MCA is oversight. And oversight, we are supposed to do oversight right from even from the assembly when you are passing the budget, all the way to the payment, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, when it comes to procurement, the issue of procurement in this county, Honorable Speaker, the procurement officers are under the chief officer in finance, Honorable Speaker. And it is our right as honorable members to oversight even the process all the way to the payment. And I liked the way Honorable the former chief officer finance, Juvenalis, was handling the issue of payment, because as much as I'm the member for Shamata, I have all the rights to know what is happening with all the money that comes to my ward, including how the contractors are paid, and why some of the contractors are not paid, Honorable Speaker. So when I receive a message there is a contractor who is just about to be paid because of work that has been done in my ward, I have all the right to say whether that work has been done properly or there are some issues that have been left in the ground for final touches, Honorable Speaker. So and that would be very smooth. So I would request my friend Bonairongo to check on that as we move on. The other issue is on the own source revenue. The Department of Finance is the one that is responsible for correction of revenue, Honorable Speaker. And this chief officer, as much as the governor had said that he will come up with he'll bring a department of own source revenue with a chief officer, as we wait for that department, this is the chief officer who is in charge. And I would request Honorable the new chief officer, who is accepted by this house, to work very, very hard to make sure that we get the best in terms of the money that we are collecting from the members of the public. There are a lot of loopholes. We had approved money for the digitization of the collection of own source revenue, and that has not been done fully, Honorable Speaker. So I would request, as he gets to the position, he make sure that we get the right thing. Honorable Speaker, there is the issue of budget cycle, whereby you have the ADP, the CVSP, and all that, including the itemized budget. Honorable Speaker, the Department of Finance and the Department of Economic Planning should work closely to make sure that these timelines are met in time. And Honorable Speaker, with him, I'm sure that they are going to get the right thing. So, Honorable Speaker, with that, I support, and I'm sure we're going to get the best. Thank you. And I call the mover.
I call the mover, Honorable Mother, member for Nyandarua. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to support the report of Finance and ICT Committee for a well done job from all of their reports from recruitment, after advertisement and application, and the shortlisting. They have done all that work to us, and we recommend the chair and your committee, because there is no left gap. Then, Chair, then Honorable Speaker, sir, I also thank the governor for showing the goodwill to work with the Nyandarua county staff. This is a reward to show that our governor has a heart for them. We expect that now, by appointing one, not because of being a staff, but through qualification, the other staff, now they feel that they have their own, who now is the accounting officer, who will be dealing even with the payment of allowances. Maybe we have got complaints that some, because of the nature of the economy that we are in this time, having committed of some pay slip, the outcry of allowances, of even airtime allowances. Now, being one of them, he will be able to tackle and make sure that we are now, our people, our staff of this county are enjoying and getting their allowances on time. Mr. Speaker, I know Irongo for some 7 years, having worked for this Nyandarua County. Even there is time when there was in crisis in the road department. And because Irongo is one of workaholic staff that we have, he used to work day and night, even at night, because we know when the financial year is ending, everybody is in infamous. But they made sure that the government, the Nyandarua government, was able to absorb around 50%, even 50% of the budget that is in the road department. So I am here to support the report and request that Mr. Irongo, now he will get, we as the, starting with me, I am ready to support him.
Had all the reasons to do the rebranding.
The meaning of our colors is as follows. Green symbolizes abundance and agriculture.
Be able to interact even with the COB and make sure that our county is not lagging behind anymore. It will be getting money on time. And finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, we need also to request the executive to support the chief officer, because the mandate, it is not easy. Being the accounting officer and approver of all, maybe even as assembly, as we are requesting, let us know every payment that is being done in our wards, so that we can say that the work is done, and also we get the value for our money. And with this, I call the mover of the motion, and I do support.
Honorable Zachary Mandachero, proceed and respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I first of all wish to appreciate the comments and support from the members. In fact, and indeed, no single member have objected the approval of the said nominee. And Honorable Speaker, it is always good to have someone who understands how the systems works. And here, equally, I wish to commend His Excellency the Governor, bearing in mind that we are past half of this term, having someone who knows how the systems works, and equally having someone the infamous language. Honorable Speaker, Finance Department being the mother department, we need this kind of a person, and that, as it was indicated by Honorable Boko, that indeed, from the past experience, even from the other departments, and to be specific, the roads department, it is evident that Mr. Irongo is of such. Honorable Geshe indicated the issue to do with experience officer, the one Mr. Juvenalis Tiongo, that must be retained, so that there can never be any case of a project or a program that was paid and done, because the person responsible for oversight, being the honorable responsible for oversight, being the honorable member, honorable. Always right, honorable. Time, honorable Speaker, as a committee, if we make a right decision, you embrace it. If we make a wrong decision, it becomes a learning experience, and that is how you can be able even to offer quick fixes, honorable Speaker, and be in a position to move an establishment or a county forward, honorable Speaker. Now, honorable Speaker, without belaboring much on that, I beseech the honorable members and this honorable House to approve the one Mr. Frederick for the position of the Chief Officer Finance, so that he can be able to take this county to the next level. And with that, I beg to move.
I now put the question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Finance, Economic Planning, and ICT on the approval of Mr. Frederick Irogo Gishohe as Chief Officer for Finance, as a report therein as the resolutions of the House, and that pursuant to the provisions of Section 45 of the County Government Act, this House does approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Frederick Irogo Gishohe as Chief Officer for Finance. May those of a similar opinion say aye. May those of a contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, the member has applied is under no sitting order is exhausted.
Honorable members, there being no other